From the civil servant then to, I'm not sure whether it was called PBB at the time. How did you go from the transferring from the civil service into party politics?
We don't call it PBB. The only qualified Bumi Putra at that time who is already in the civil service was Tan Sri Rahman. Taib just come back, one Alwi Ibrahim. They are both lawyers. Plus Dato Daniel Tajen and few others. Dato Abang Yusuf, Arni Lampam, the other few Malay qualified already in the civil service. So against the late Stephen Yong, late Tan Ong Ki Hue, Tan Sri Ong Ki Hue, and many others, and this Sim Keng Hong San, Mr. Sim now lah. So and the fear of being controlled by the non-Muslim, Chinese and SUPP, Tunaman get together, and then this Abang Abu's father, they were also at quarter. Then Bang Johari's father, then Sam Iban, in the house where we stay, 2.5 miles next to opposite STC. I become the secretary that time lah. Every time they come and have a meeting, informal, and this is how I was involved. So they formed the Parti Berjasa. After Parti Berjasa, they combined after they lost the election. A lot of the Malay lost election directly. So they formed Iban and Melayu. They call it Parti Berjasa Bumi Putra with Juga and Tumengong Awang Lawajau and few other Iban together with the Malay, with Tun Rahman as the head. And that's how Tun Rahman, although he lost, he managed to be appointed as a member of parliament and become a federal minister. Juga was also a federal minister. And if you hear Tun Rahman's story about Juga, when they were given the cabinet papers in parliament, Juga didn't know how to write. The file was upside down. And I managed to personally look after Juga when I was an SAO in Roban that time, 1963, yeah. When he came and visited my area. Very interesting. Juga may not be an educated man, but you see, that man is very fast-sighted. He speaks very well, but he cannot write. He only have his tattoo here, and with the back there written Temengong. So there is a joke. When he came to visit me, I asked him, "Can you sign the visitor's book?" So yeah, ni the one. So with T Pantap, T means Temengong lah, with big full stop. So we asked him, "Nama tu?" So he went to the Mirror and said, "Nyam ya, is this written there Temengong? The big full stop is Burit." I told Linggi about that. So Linggi benefits, and the Linggi son also benefited. The guy who benefited from Malaysia the most is Linggi lah, because Tun Rahman gave him 750,000 acres of timber license, and he's the richest Iban in the world. With Alex, is a very nice guy lah. When there was a crisis, 1968-69, we almost lost the state government. We were 18 SNAP, 18 PBB. SUP was not with us. So that morning, we were supposed to go to Istana. Tun Rahman was supposed to go to Istana with this late Tun Bujang lah, Tunku Aziz Bujang. So, one Alwi joined SNAP. He wants to bring Kalung Ningkan together with him to to appoint him as the chief minister. But although his uncle is Tunku Bujang, he doesn't like Wan Alui, let Wan Alui. So he called Tun Rahman the same morning, about 11 o'clock. Tun Rahman went up, sworn in. So he managed to form the government. I was already in the state at the time, 74. And then he brought SUPP in, Stephen Leong and Sim Keng Hong. Because Tun Rahman says, if you don't, this is exactly what he told, because I was part and parcel of it, and that night we were together. We used Arif Hotel as our headquarters. If you don't join us, we cannot guarantee the security of Sarawak. So he is scared. So instead of joining SNAP with Wan Alui, SUPP joined us. That's how he was being played out by Tun Rahman. And that's the time when we opened the Bank Negara at night to get the money to pay for those guys. None of them knows this story.
So, I'm just going back to the early days of being part of Malaysia. What kind of influences did Sarawak, or rather the federal government, have over Sarawak at the time? Because we have this issue about the oil. We have to go back to that time. What was the issue? Obviously, people say the talk of the town is, the oil is owned by Petronas, but this is much later. Was that the real reason why the peninsula wanted to capture Sarawak and Sabah? Was it the oil royalties, or the oil that our minerals that we had, or was this?
Depend on how you look at it. If you purely look at the formation of Malaysia for economic reason, that should be the way it is. The overall scenario for ASEAN at that time, which is not so much of economic importance, it is the political control of Southeast Asia against Indonesia, because they were scared. Malaysia and Sabah, Sarawak and Brunei is only that time about 20 to 20 million people. Indonesia is already 250 million, so which is 10% of the Indonesian people. Just 1 or 10 platoon of Indonesian army march off into Borneo, Malaysia already captured. So because of our agreement with the British, and Singapore is still the best for British, the one, and Australia, Malaysia retained the one. And it's that fear alone which retard Indonesia from continue hammering Malaysia, ganyang Malaysia. That is one of the main reasons. The economic problem, which is oil and resources, is a matter of course. Because once you are in, what choice do Sarawak have? They have to surrender. This surrender is not made by the people of Sarawak. It is offered by the late Tun Mustafa and Tun Rahman, because they were very close, the late Tun Razak and Tunku Abdul Rahman, to make sure that Sarawak is favored, Sarawak and Sabah is favored by federal. Because once you first join Malaysia, you don't have money. You cannot rely on the British aid anymore, because British has already given up. So these are the scenario which come first, the egg or the chicken.